snacks ready. I'm chilling. I'm ready to hear all the great horrible work stories.
Yeah. Okay, so my first work story happened this week, and it is gross. So, did you guys ever deal with sewage before?
Oh God, yes.
Oh no, yes.
I believe. Yes, I have.
Okay, so yeah, let me have a prompting question, I guess. What do you think would be the worst thing about working at a gym? What do you think it would be? The members? Maybe my associates? No?
Honestly, I don't know, man. I went to a gym a few times. I can't really think of anything I found too unpleasant.
I worked out once.
Wiping down the equipment.
Okay.
The horror story of the sewage facilities messing up when you're swimming in the pool and you see it coming as you're at the pool and you're like,
Oh no.
God, why? Please.
No.
Okay. So, in the women's change room, someone decided it was a smart idea to flush female hygiene products down the toilet. To those who don't know, female hygiene products do not go down toilets. So, when the pipes get clogged, okay, it has to go somewhere, and it goes to the nearest open space.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Do you know what is in a bathroom? Floor drains. Floor drains are in a bathroom.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
So, guess what rose up from the floor into it gets worse because the floor is like on like a very, very slight decline because like the building's kind of uneven. So it goes.
Right.
So like, I'm not gonna mince words here. Shit water. Shit water.
Yep.
Poop water. Okay.
That's what it's gonna be.
It went up and just like slid down into the carpet, and there was actual like flakes. It was just the grossest thing. It reeked, and so like literally, I'm working at the front desk. I'm working at the front desk. Some lady comes in. She's like, have you seen your own like floor? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So then one of my female associates who goes in the bathroom is like, oh my God, you have to see this. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, no.
So then she puts up the sign to like, there's like gonna be a male person coming in. I come in, just the worst thing I've ever seen. And like we're standing there like, what are we supposed to do? There's actual like poop on the floor. It's water poop. Like we don't know. We have no idea what to do. I have to phone in a code black. So a code black is like a facility emergency. And I'm like, okay. So the lady's coming. She's like, this is like yada 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 facility, whatever. What can I do with? And I'm like, okay. So so the toilet got clogged, and I didn't know how to explain it in like a correct way. So I literally was just like to a fellow professional. There's poop on the floor. There's water and poop on the floor. And then it's seeped into the carpet and it's everywhere and it smells like it. I don't know what to do. So can you like do something about it? So ended up having to like shut down the portion of the women's change room that was like the bathroom part. Because it's like there's and then like it's so weird because like some microbiologist professor like comes in and tells me like, you really should be closing the bathroom because microbes can contaminate the floor and then they can step on it and then they can go into the gym room. I'm like, who got Bill Nye's wife to come into the gym here and talk to me about microbes and shit? Yes, I know there's poop on my floor. I'm gonna close the gym. You don't need to tell me twice. God, spell microbes,
so
okay, lady? How about you spell the word microbes to my face? Like, trying to come in here like she knows everything. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of aware there's poop water all over the place. So I had to like I got my female worker. I was like, okay, you're gonna have to clean the floor somehow. Like it's on the floor. We can reduce like half of the mess. She had to like mop up like the mess, and I was like, I feel bad for you. But like I had to deal with like I had to call like an emergency. I had to like do all these things like to just get this thing fixed as soon as possible. And then like so like plumbers came in, like I called an emergency. Two plumbers came in. They were like, so they assessed the damage. They were like, yeah, someone probably just like flushed like tampons or something down the drain or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's stupid. And then so they couldn't do anything about it because they were just assessing the damage. And then like floor cleaners came in. They were like, okay, so we're gonna have to like get this big vacuum like industrial thing like all in the span of like an hour. It was the craziest thing. It was just. And we do like daily calls, like the entire division does like a daily like sales call and like recap what's going on in the day. And I'm like, sorry, John, there's poop on the floor. Gonna have to waive this. So
I
yeah.
need a minute.
Sorry, boss. I need a minute. So yeah, that was that facility emergency. And then like so that happens on today's Thursdays. No, today's Wednesday. So that happened on a Monday. Today, okay. Something else crapped out. This time it was the power. So, if you guys don't have like, people who are listening, if you guys don't have surge protectors like plugged into anything and the power goes out, game over. Like,
yeah.
So the power went out, and then like our virtual fitness consoles, they got fried. So I had to call in another code black because apparently like it was like nothing was working. So it was like this morning, and I was like, okay, so like there's actual fitness classes. There's fitness classes later in the day. The speakers are fried, and so obviously like the microphones won't work. So we had to like take an old stereo and put it from one room, like one fitness studio to another one, and then like called another code black. It was just a mess. Like every single escalated issue I've had at my new job has just been like nothing to do with like actual people, but everything to do with like the building just being a total piece of garbage.
It's shit going wrong in the most literal way.
Talk about browning out.
Oh boy.
I have absolutely dealt with fucking shit floor toilet water before. I myself have flooded the fucking toilet, and my family obviously wanted me to clean it up. It was fucking horrible. I had our entire bathroom flooded once with shit water.
Oh, it's terrible.
Nice one, Orange. Nice one. Way to go, kid. You ruined Christmas.
Here's the gross thing, man. It wasn't. You know how you mostly flood toilets by using too much fucking toilet paper? Yeah, that wasn't me. I mostly just dropped fat fucking deuces. And
more like you used too many tampons.
So
I was gonna say
it was impossible to unclog, and I had to unclog it myself.
Great.
Nice.
It was the fucking worst, man. I've definitely dealt with cleaning up shit water off the floor. But cleaning it out of the carpet is a different story.
What's just about is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, the only thing that I've had with, like, that comes to mind for fecal matter for me was the time I was working at, okay, I lucked out on this one, so I'm not going to lie, but it's still... basically, at the end of a shift when I used to work at Party City, they had to have, you drew straws to say who would do what. You clean the bathrooms or you sweep the floor. And someone had cheated hardcore to make me have to sweep the floor, because when you sweep the floor, that entails that you have to pick up all the costumes and anything that comes with it. So, Mr. Jackass that cheated runs out of the bathroom, and he's just like... Oh my god, guys, I can't clean the bathroom. And everyone's just like, why? And he's just like, I can't do it. Someone's got to do it for me. I can't. I'm going to throw up. And so everyone, of course, walks in there.
Right.
The sink, not the toilet, the sink. Shit. everywhere. Everywhere. And it was an adult, which means that someone literally hopped on the sink and just took a dump and left. And like,
hashtag Party City!
I was just like, what?
Shout out to Party City. Yeah, I got... Alright,
I got people shitting in the urinal, but I've never heard of someone shitting in the fucking thing.
So I've had the pleasure of seeing the shitting in the urinal multiple times, but before, man, this is a handful of years ago. When I used to work at Barnes and Noble, and around the holidays you get all kinds, and man, so normally we have a company that does this, but this was so bad that it had to be addressed, and so I took initiative, and because I found it, I had to be the one to clean it up. And basically, imagine, if you will, a whoopee cushion filled with pork and beans.
Oh my god.
Wait, imagine, if you will, and then you aim towards the wall. And then you don't just sit, you kind of jump up a little bit, like hop onto your feet and just and I that is pretty much what the wall was. It was like somebody had all this pressure built up and there was a cork in their ass and they were like, I have to do this. They went into the bathroom, aimed their ass at the toilet and then pulled the cork, but they didn't aim at the toilet. And I don't understand. It looked like a splatter. That's why I'm saying it. Like, it looked like a splatter, and it's like, that's pressurized. I don't understand. Oh my god, it was nightmarish.
Man, what is with Barnes and Noble on the
How
wall?
did people even accomplish this? I don't understand, man. Like, how the fuck do you get on the wall?
Or they pressed their ass against the wall and just shat into the wall. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. I honestly don't know. I don't remember the rest of that shift. I don't remember that day, but I do remember that. So that's
Your mind
that's
blocked it
magic.
out.
That's magic.
So I have an idea. I'm gonna make a separate channel. And because this, I mean, like, granted, I set the precedent by, let's talk about shit stories. So
Sure.
I'm just gonna make a second channel just for like the most off-topic nonsense that we talk about.
So, if you post this as a video, it's literally going to be a shit post. You know that, right?
Hey,
Oh my God.
zing!
The
We got
shittiest
a
video
comedian
ever.
over here.
I mean, what do you do? Sometimes the best strategy is just throw enough shit at the wall until it sticks, right?
Yeah.
Oh god. Just
Or blast away. That works too.
it's sort of like
I've had a story where I've legitimately had to clean out a hoarder house before. Like, you've seen the show Hoarders, I'm guessing, with the people here?
Okay.
Yeah. My uncle was contracted to fucking clean out, like, full-on hoarder house, and I shit you not, man. The
Do you?
trash
Do you or
is
do you
shit
not shit me
everywhere? What?
Keep going.
I'm saying, literally,
We're just
everything
riffing right now.
Everything in this fucking house was stacked to the ceiling. I don't even know how people lived in this fucking house.
they didn't.
It's
Although, admittedly, I found a lot of cool shit in there, like an Xbox, a couple PlayStation games, some Game Boy games.
a dead hobo, a dead
A
cat.
cursed copy of a video game said to
There was,
steal the soul.
There was one room in this fucking house that obviously belonged to a really edgy teenager, because there was writing all over the fucking walls about how he hates his life and his parents.
Crawling in my skin!
Those are my favorite teenagers. I'm not gonna lie.
When there's writing on your walls, you know you're unstable, or you're in a place where there's somebody who's unstable, because you just don't do that.
We were cracking up about it pretty badly, because we were expecting to find something crazy, given how much there was in there, and least of all, we find it on the wall in writing.
Yeah.
You knew he
It
thought
was-
he was like so edgy, but everyone else was like, man, you see Leroy's a fucking psychopath. Throwing shit on the walls. Who the fuck does this guy think he is?
And on the topic of a cursed video game, yes, I found a cursed video game. There was an old Pokemon Blue game, which I popped into my old Game Boy, and it actually broke it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna...
Oh, I thought that was gonna be like way more intense of a story.
I'm just saying.
I once played a game and it broke the console. Fucking, it's possessed, man. It's cursed.
Well,
you know what?
I spent a good amount of time trying to get it to work, and it was just glitchy title screens, and it never got anywhere, and then it one day just broke my Game Boy for trying.
Okay, that reminds me of something. So, alright, this is... Whoa.
There's no poop involved, right? Like, are we past that? Involved. Are we moved on?
I am.
I was never on board with this. I walked into this conversation. I used to talk about shit all the time.
The therapy did pay off, so I'm not going back. So basically, alright, so we're going back here to, I'm a youngin' playing with my dick, my little dick. You ever do that thing? Where you like push your dick in and it was like a button as a kid because it was so small?
What?
Anyway, I'm gonna move on now. So I had a Sega Genesis, and I also had the Sega CD attachment because I thought it was cool. And the Sega CD game had this Jurassic Park game. It was a really interesting point-and-click game. I actually still like playing it. It's really fucking hard. But anyway, so there was a thing that happened that was so creepy, and I don't know how to replicate it. I tried it even as an adult, like going back to play it, and I don't know what I did exactly. There was something that happened where the place where you save your game is this computer, and if you go to the computer and I remember using a big rock and using it on the computer, where you basically just drop a rock on the computer keyboard, and it causes a meltdown where the entire visitor center collapses, and one of the skeletons that's of like one of the dinosaurs that's like sitting in there, like in the movie, it collapses on you, and then it brings you to a weird menu that makes you pick like letters and numbers, and it like jumps you around to parts of the game. It was like a debug mode where it jumped you around to parts of the game, but you couldn't interact with anything, and the music was all weird, and it was like a fucking creepypasta. And
what does this have to do with your dick?
It has nothing to do with my dick. We're past that now. Why are you thinking about my dick?
I'm sorry. I've constantly got dick on my mind.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, that was really eerie because I'm like 5 years old and I'm like, why are these weird sounds happening, and why can't I stop the T-Rex from eating me? Why these areas don't look like anything? They don't look right. Some of them weren't finished, so I'm trying to remember this from memory. Like, because I couldn't do it as an adult. I'm like, I put the rock on the keyboard. I can't get to the weird debug mode.
Honestly, man, those mysterious like developer exclusive things. When you're a kid and that happens to you, like, I permanently broke the game. I'm probably gonna get killed tonight. Like, right. That stuff, like, honestly, like, I feel you. Like, it creeps me out big time.
It's
like,
creepy.
Like, when I like started doing the Missigno stuff in Pokemon.
Oh my fucking god, don't you talk about Missigno. I was scared to death of him as a kid. I call him Jim, which explains how much I anthropomorphize a glitch, but still.
Right? I mean, pretty much, man. It's creepy.
I had to have my brother do the glitch for me, and I would run out of the room.
I run out of the room, I'd close my eyes.
Oh my god. Okay, that's...
No, I feel that. I get you, though. I get that.
No, I understand. I echo the dolphin, the Tides of Time. Oh my god, that game. When you would, like, sing to the crystals, they would, like, open up, and they would, like, make this terrifying suction sound. And as a kid, that used to, like, creep me out. Cause it's like,
I know what you're talking about. Oh my god, yes.
You're like, no, games shouldn't make this noise. And, like... Bad Dudes, as a kid, I'm not gonna lie, it gave me nightmares, because I'm like, Nintendo games shouldn't talk. And he said, He said, I'm bad. And I'm like, oh god.
Yep.
And I immediately turned the game off and hid underneath my bed. Like,
it's weird, but that shit's creepy because you've never seen anything like that before, and you're like, oh god. And it's like this weird pixelated voice, and it's like, it doesn't sound right. It's just like, you know, it's like, play again. And it's just like this really weird voice that is like pixelated and bizarre.
Yep.
God.
I actually just did like an online assessment for a job that had video assessments, and the audio recording, I swear, it was like it had been put through an NES game or something. It was like 4,000 hertz.
Oh my god! Like corporate video tutorials are like from the 1980s. Oh my god, they're so bad.
The sound
Like,
quality is just,
The sound, the quality is just like, you're a $1 million company. Like, you literally are a corporation. Invest in, like, Camtasia or something. Like
I don't know.
Figure it out, man. Figure it out.
The job that I'm doing right now, its tutorial videos were the best. You could not skip them, even though the text was on the screen, and you could read faster than it. And the best part is when I finished doing the tutorial, nobody told me I had to screenshot that I had finished the tutorial.
Oh no.
And so I had to watch the video again.
Oh god.
Like, why?
Fucking drop the ball.
And the best part about it is that it had quizzes, so you couldn't just like close your eyes and just let it go. You had to interact with it, and I'm just like, God, what?
That's annoying.
Did it do the thing where like it role plays every choice of the multiple choice after it explains it, and that just makes you more confused?
No. Instead, it would be like, it would have these 3 characters at the end, and it would say, what should Jimmy do? Should he listen to Clarissa, Mary, or John? And you're just like, oh god, I don't
know, man. John looks pretty trustworthy, but...
I don't know, yeah.
I always love... They are my favorite thing about jobs, though, the on-the-job training, because none of the situations make any sense that would happen in real life.
Yeah, and they're always so, like, terribly explained, where it's just like, can I just, like, be just on the field and just do this and figure it out on my own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my boss was like, okay, so you're gonna do these modules right now? And I'm like, okay, so I did the modules, and I was like, and I spoke to, like, another person working there who was working there for long. I'm like, is this an outdated system I'm trying to learn? And she was like, yeah. I've been working here for 5 years, and I've never seen that model of this program. And I'm like, okay.
What?
So I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
Not to mention, most of the stuff that you do need training for, you don't get. I mean, I once worked at a help desk, and nobody taught me how to defend myself when someone tried to, like, punch me. I mean,
oh my god.
Granted, I already knew how, but that's not the point. I'm just, like, standing there, the guy's like, hey man, can I print from that printer? And I say, I'm sorry sir, you can't print from this printer. This is, like, faculty only. And he's like, no man, you just gotta let me use it. Like, I just really need it. And I'm like, if there are other printers, you can use other ones. And he's just like, no, I'm trustworthy. I'm like,
I've developed a bond with this printer.
Pretty much. I'm like, dude, no. And then he just, like, he starts to, like, walk off. And then he just turns around angrily at me and just, like, throws a pin at me at first. And then I, like, dodge somehow at point blank. And then he just, like, swings. And then I move again, and I, like, glare at him. And then he just turns around and walks off like nothing happened.
Sir, can you not? I'm just trying to do my job, sir. Can you not punch me?
Right. And I'm like, I look at everyone else, and they're like, wow, I didn't know you could dodge that well. I'm like, what? Why didn't you help me?
Yeah, right? What the fuck?
Can you imagine though? If that was like a tutorial though, like, okay, so in today's lesson you're gonna have to learn how to dodge a punch from a customer. You would hold down you would have like no employee retention because they'd be like, I didn't sign up to get sucker punched.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah,
I didn't know being a black belt in fucking judo was part of the job description.
In today's tutorial, you will learn how to go into the octagon.
much. Like, that's the weird part. The only time I've been assaulted at jobs has literally been during IT work.
The most mundane shit.
Yeah, it's like, hey, can you help me fix my printer? It's always the printers. It's like, yeah, this is broken, and they want to kick you. You're like, God.
Yeah, I found the problem. You looks like you put your daughter's necklace in the place where you put the paper, and it broke the inside of the printer. Literally, something like that happened. Like, I was at a friend's house.
I was gonna say, is that a thing?
No, well, like they apparently. This was like a long time ago. Like one of the first projects I had to do, like a group project, and I was at my friend, and I was at this my classmate's house, and we're trying to print off this thing, and like the mom is getting like increasingly impatient and like trying to get like we were like fucking 10 years old at this point. We had no idea how technology even worked, and she's just like the mom's like hounding her daughter about like figure out the printer, and we're like. What do you want us to do? Like,
yeah, what the fuck?
We're 10. We don't even like. We don't even know like a standard, like the difference between like a standard and an automatic is. And you're trying to tell me to fix a printer?
Yeah, what the hell?
and then find out that like her daughter like put freaking like toy necklaces like in the printer, and then we because we opened it and we were like, oh, looks like there's actual just toys in here. Like the printer's broken because. This isn't a treasure chest to put toys.
It's rational to assume the printer requires a sacrifice. Like when you're that young, it may as well be an evil demon.
Yeah.
Oh,
or Malibu Barbie, you know, whatever floats your boat.
Oh yeah, exactly. I like how it's Malibu
needs too.
Printers are evil demons.
Yeah, especially like the old school ones. Oh my god.
The dot matrix ones?
Yes.
That kind of thing, where it just makes the most horrifying noises.
And it gets off track every 2 seconds, and then your dad's like, why can't you fix this? And you're like, dude, stop. And
dude, leave me alone, Dad.
And he'd say things like,
Dad, I'm trying to push my dick into my belly button. Leave me alone.
My dad would say crazy things like, "You'll never be a man if you can't fix this printer." And it's like, you can't either. What the hell?
Oh! He never became a man.
And then I got grounded every time.
Wait, every time? So your dad didn't learn from his fucking mistakes?
Why would he?
Right, apparently. He had grounding powers, so...
Yeah, I mean, sorry. Good stuff.
Well, see, if he had learned from his mistakes, then Al Brewster would be an only child.
Oh!
Shit.
I love how Tequila just like he just jumps in and like just says one thing, just like mic drop, bitches. I'm out of here.
Right.
Well played.
Just leave. See ya. I'm out. Well, I'm gonna go hit the dusty tree. No, just kidding. It's time to get moving. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm gonna end the video here because I feel like we've done enough. So
The mic's been dropped.
Mic's been dropped by Tech. We're gonna end it here.